This year saw a multitude of WWE superstars get released from their contracts. Today, we'll be taking a look at every major name that got let go by WWE in 2025 and where they are now. Get into the comments and let us know how you feel about these releases from WWE. Number 10, Braun Strowman. The Monster Among Men's WWE exit occurred in May of 2025 when the company reportedly opted not to renew his contract amid budget concerns and also concerns about his high salary and injury history, marking the end of his second run with WWE. Over his decade-long career, Strowman was one of WWE's most dominant big men, a former Universal Champion, an Intercontinental Champion, a two-time Raw Tag Team Champ, and a Money in the Bank winner, along with a Greatest Royal Rumble and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as well. His release after WrestleMania 41 came as a shock to a lot of fans, as he had done a great job elevating Jacob Fatu during their feud right before WrestleMania. Although the monster of all monsters was plagued with injury issues, fans thought WWE would keep him around because of his reliable star power. Since leaving WWE, Strowman has shifted his focus into media and entertainment. He's hosting the food and travel show on the USA Network, which is still working with WWE, called Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman, exploring TV, film, and other ventures outside of the ring. Number 9, Sonya Deville. Another shocking name that got released by WWE this year was Sonya Deville. Deville's WWE tenure ended in February of 2025 when the company reportedly chose not to renew her contract, making her a free agent after a decade with the company. During her run, she broke barriers as one of WWE's most prominent openly gay talents and became a WWE Women's Tag Team Champion with Chelsea Green in 2023, which was her first title win. Deville also served as an authority figure on Raw and was a visible advocate for LGBTQ representation in pro wrestling. After her release, she officially retired from in-ring competition in 2025, shifting towards acting and business projects with former WWE superstar Mandy Rose, embracing opportunities outside of wrestling while leaving a worthwhile legacy in the industry. Number 8, Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai was released by WWE on May 2nd of 2025 as part of broad roster cuts that surprised many fans given her role on the main roster at the time and active competition. Over her decade-long run, the Kiwi Superstar was a two-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champ, a two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champ, and a key member of the Damage Control faction alongside Bayley and Io Sky, competing in major storylines across Raw and SmackDown. Since her WWE exit, Kai has spoken openly about enjoying a brief hiatus, with major promotions like AEW reportedly interested in her now that she's a free agent. As of now, she's scheduled to appear at Pro Wrestling Eve's Wrestle Queendom event 8 on March 8th, 2026, where she'll challenge AEW star Chris Statlander for the Eve International Championship. Number 7, R-Truth. R-Truth, Ron Killings, announced his WWE departure in June of 2025 when the company opted not to renew his contract, ending a 17-year run with the company. Over his long career, he became one of WWE's most beloved entertainers and maybe the top comedian on the roster. Other than that, he won multiple championships. Truth is a former US champion, Raw Tag Team Champion, WWE Tag Team Champ, Mixed Match Challenge winner, and a record-setting 24/7 champion. Plus, he's had tons of memorable moments with some of the biggest names in the business, which include his first WrestleMania victory at WrestleMania 40. However, just days after his roster cut, release, contract non-renewal, WWE brought him back amid huge backlash from fans online at Money in the Bank 2025 in the closing moments. It was very surprising, and they had him come back as Ron Killings, a more serious, alternate version of his character attacking John Cena. For the next few weeks, he teased a serious character change, but since then has gone back to his more comedic role. Number 6, Carlito. Carlito Caribbean Cool's WWE exit in June of 2025 came when his contract expired and wasn't renewed, showing a different way that WWE under TKO handles the release of talents or simply just not keeping the talents while they let a contract run out. It ended his second run with the company, surprising fans who enjoyed his veteran presence with the younger Judgment Day faction. A charismatic figure since his 2004 debut, Carlito immediately made an impact by defeating John Cena back then for the US Championship and later won the Intercontinental and Tag Team titles alongside his brother Primo during his first WWE run. Since leaving WWE, Carlito has returned to his roots in Puerto Rico with WWC, where he won the WWC Puerto Rico Heavyweight Championship, is now an active member of the independent wrestling scene. Number 5. Shayna Baszler. Baszler was on a lengthy list of superstars who got released by the company in spring of 2025. She had an outstanding 8-year run with WWE, where she established herself as maybe one of the best superstars to leap from MMA into pro wrestling. The Queen of Spades was a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, a multi-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, a standout from the early Mae Young Classic tournament who had high-profile feuds both on NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. Following her WWE release, she briefly worked behind the scenes as a producer on NXT, honing her TV production skills following her non-compete period. In the months since, Baszler has appeared on the independent wrestling circuit, continuing to compete outside of WWE while exploring opportunities beyond her long in-ring tenure. Number 4. Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn was released from WWE in February of 2025, ending her 7-year run with the promotion after being a part of both NXT and the main roster. During her WWE career, she became one half of the Unholy Union tag team with Alba Fire, capturing the NXT Women's Tag Team titles and later the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, making them one of the few teams to do that. Known for her eerie, unholy enchantress persona, Dawn carved out a unique niche in WWE's women's division. Since her release, she has remained active in the wrestling world, debuting with AEW on Collision in August of 2025 and appearing on Ring of Honor and MLW. Number 3. Andrade. This was one that surprised a lot of people, surprising so many specifically because he left All Elite Wrestling to come back to WWE in early 2024 and was involved in some meaningful storylines, teaming with Rey Fenix, holding the WWE Speed Championship as a strong mid-card player, but never really going above that. His departure was a part of broader cuts, and reports suggest it stemmed from maybe some disciplinary issue, maybe a wellness policy violation that disrupted creative plans, but those are a very mixed amount of reports. Since leaving WWE, the former US champion has been active on the independent scene in Puerto Rico, winning the WWC Universal title, appearing on House of Glory. He's booked for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 20 at Tokyo Dome in January 2026, where he previously wrestled under the mask of La Sombra. Andrade returned to All Elite Wrestling at their 6th anniversary episode of Dynamite, but later it was revealed he was removed from their creative plans after WWE sent a cease and desist for violating a non-compete clause. Whether or not that's still active, it isn't clear. However, he teased a possible AEW return once he's free of this entire legal situation. Number 2. The Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering. In February, WWE cut the Authors of Pain, Occam and Razor, along with their legendary manager Paul Ellering, ending their second tenure in the company and disbanding the Final Testament faction, which paired them with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. AOP first debuted in WWE in 2016, winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament, the NXT Tag Team titles, the Raw Tag Team titles, and becoming one of NXT's most dominant duos before moving to the main roster. Hall of Famer Paul Ellering helped guide them and previously managed the iconic Road Warriors in the 80s and 90s. Their 2025 release, though, was a surprise given their history and TV presence on Raw. Since leaving WWE, Occam and Razor have been working on the independent bookings they have and exploring new projects, while Ellering has shifted his focus away from full-time wrestling roles following a long and storied career. And number 1, Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Yeah, after the disbandment of the Final Testament, as we talked about, Karrion Kross and his wife and valet Scarlett were the only ones in the faction left on Raw. However, both of them were released by WWE when their contract couldn't come to terms on a renewal in August. Yeah, and this outraged many fans as Kross had built up a significant amount of momentum with the We Want Kross fan movement and strong storylines on the company's Red brand, where he was mostly a supporting character. Having their names moved to WWE's alumni page confirmed their departure, and this followed weeks of speculation amongst fans in the wrestling world about their status with WWE and whether or not them leaving the company was a part of some elaborate storyline or work. During their run in WWE, Kross was a 2-time NXT champion, featured on the main roster, involved in major feuds, while Scarlett delivered memorable managerial in-ring moments alongside him. Since leaving WWE, they've become the hottest free agents in pro wrestling, accepting major bookings across the independent circuit and being featured in big main events in GCW. Scarlett made a homecoming to her independent roots in Chicago at AAW. However, several Several other names were cut by WWE. On the main roster side, superstars like Blair Davenport, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Sarah Logan, and Giovanna Vinci were let go. While on NXT, notable names like Duke Hudson, Cedric Alexander, Ridge Holland, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Shotzi Blackheart, Elektra Lopez, Ora Mensa, Jakara Jackson, Wes Lee, Idris Enofe, Jasmine Nix, Eddie Thorpe, and Gallus were all let go. For you, what was the most significant release of WWE talent in 2025? Let us know in the comments below.